Now, you guys want to ask Samira?
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and ask my first set.
We good, go ahead.
Just a little bit, can you talk to me about the leadership style as far as, like, I know, like, you're a director of compliance, and there's two other of you?
Yeah.
And then who's above you all?
An associate director.
The associate director.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how it trickles down, like, the leadership and how that helps out with the compliance department.
Well, our boss, Todd Dooley, he reports directly to Mike Ward, who goes directly to Dave Hart, athletic director. Mike Ward came from Alabama with Dave Hart. He was the associate athletic director for compliance at Alabama. So kind of what Todd has done is he lets us run our own aspect of compliance solely. We don't have to talk to him with every question. We don't have to go to him with what our sports are dealing with. He trusts us to just take care of all the situations, and he's dealing with the bigger picture things. He's talking to Chancellor Chi. He's dealing with Dave. He's dealing with the bigger picture items, and he wants us to just do the daily stuff. And I'm not going to say don't mess with it. Don't involve him at all, but he just trusts us to be really knowledgeable in our area, and then just go from there. So he's not the type of person that's going to hover over you or want him to copy on every email or anything like that. So what that's actually allowed us to do is become really, I guess knowledgeable is the only word for it. Really knowledgeable in our area, and I feel like 3 of us could leave here and go and be the head of any compliance office right now because of that. Because we're basically running our own shop on a daily basis. So I think that's kind of, I don't know if that was his intent, but that's what's happened.
And although, like, all of you all are running your own shop, like, are you all, like, you all come together and discuss what's going on with everyone just to make sure, like, you're on the same page and you're going in the right direction? Or?
Yeah, we do that a lot. Daily basis. We're always in each other's office, kind of collaborating, seeing, what everybody thinks, bouncing ideas off each other. And because they've all been in other schools too, and they might have seen something I've never seen, or they might interpret something completely different than I do. So if you have people there, it's better to just knock it off. And then I'll probably copy them on the email just so everybody's in the loop. And basically, we want to create one front. So if somebody comes back to us, then we all have this opinion and we're all going forward with it. So one person's not giving them an answer that we didn't know about, and on the back end, a week later, they're like, "Well, I got this answer from Will." Well, you asked me too. It's like, well, he answered me later, and he said this. So we try to get together so we have one answer, and we're going forward with one answer, because it just takes down our credibility if we don't do it that way.
How often would you say you meet with Todd?
I meet with him daily, just because his office is beside mine.
Oh, okay.
Really.
Gotcha.
But it's not, I don't have a scheduled meeting with him to go over what I'm doing in the day or anything like that, or he doesn't send me emails with lists of things to do or an itinerary or anything like that. It's more of just an informal meeting, or if I want to just give him a heads up on something, then that's what we do.
And so you feel comfortable with the leadership that he's instilled in all 3 of you, to kind of take on your own role and just do it your own way?
Yeah, 100%.
Seeing how the entire athletics department is already on probation, where would you like to see, from a compliance standpoint, where would you like to see the organization go from here?
I'd like to see 1 or 2 additional staff members added, which I think over the next year or 2 we could get to that point. Just because there's way too many issues out there, honestly. And with social media, with everybody knows what we're doing all the time. And it's not like it was 10 years ago where, if something small happened, you just push it away. Just use it as a teaching point, go to the coach, be like, look, you can't do this anymore. Well, now, other schools are sending us stuff that they see on Twitter, and they're like, what are you going to do about this? And so now we have to address it. And that stuff takes time. Every violation, it takes hours, because you have to research the stuff, you have to submit it to the conference, you have to argue. It's ridiculous. So, and these violations happen on a daily basis. We're going to probably have 50 violations, 60 violations this year. That's normal, really. Because they're just secondary violations, and spread across all the sports is just going to happen. But all of those take so much time, and and in turn that takes away the time that you're going to spend monitoring to prevent future violations, rules education, all that stuff. So it'd be nice to have another staff member that's maybe just focused on writing that stuff, or focused on maybe just doing rules education. I don't know what the answer to that is, but probably another 1 or 2 people would really help. Structure-wise, I think we have a really good structure. We have a really good plan in place. We just need people to implement it. And overall, like, the culture of compliance at UT is so much better than what it was when I got here. But we have a few sports that could, maybe step it up a few notches. And that's really just, for lack of a better term, just having to come to Jesus meeting with them, and just be like, you're either going to do this or you're going to get fired.
Gotcha.
Really. And Dave Hart's done that. He's done a really good job about that. Whenever he had a meeting with every single coach, and the first thing he said was, if you cheat, you're fired. He's like, I'm not going to have a meeting with you. I'm not going to, hear your side of the story. If the facts are there and you cheated, you're fired. That's it. So that really helps us do our job, because now whenever we tell them to do something, they do it. But then, so that's, I was going back to what I said earlier, that's what kind of makes our job hard in a way, is that you don't want to constantly be the person that's telling them what to do, like the police, So it's hard to balance this where you want to let them know that you're on the same side as they are while helping them. And it really goes back to where they came from, honestly. If they came from a school where the compliance office was terrible, then they bring that with them, and then it starts off from the very beginning as an awful relationship. So it's just really relationship building, and that gets us to where we need to be.
Gotcha. I know you kind of hit on it a little bit earlier. Could you just talk a little bit more about the consistency and how important it is around the board, just to be, all the coaches to be even and have an understanding of what's, abiding by the rules and regulations of the NCAA and all that?
So consistency from a compliance standpoint, like us putting our message out?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most important thing, honestly, is just us getting our message out there and them actually responding to it, finding ways for them to respond. Because everybody responds to things completely different, So it's just us getting a unified front, realizing how we're going to approach a situation and just do it. Just be real efficient.
Thanks. That's all I have. Yeah.